Hi everyone, Broman Jenkins here. Welcome back to Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Today we're going to be resecuring a few tanks from the Mexican Armed Forces and using them to our own devices. This is going to be a fairly long mission, so strap yourself in. It's also going to be fairly difficult, but I'll get to that in a moment after this briefing.
We have incoming sat images from the crisis center. They've pinpointed the barracks used to house the tank trainers. Location should now be on your HUD.
Mitchell, your UAV is up and operational. Don't hesitate to use it. You're gonna need the extra intel.
That UAV is going to make me overbold in this mission. You won't see most of that because I have cut most of my deaths. But yeah, I'm going to be making extensive use of that UAV. There's a good reason for it. It's one of your few advantages over the enemy forces you have, that and your meat shield teammates. But it also, if you look in the upper left corner here, you'll see it provides you almost a bird's eye view of where people are exactly. So I'm aiming at a guy who's actually inside that compound firing on my UAV. I just can't tell it right now because I didn't look in the upper left corner. But I can kind of see that now as it gets closer in, and I can move forward a bit. I get very paranoid by this stage in the game. This is really where the game can start to get a little difficult for people who aren't expecting it. The training missions you've had and the other missions you've been on don't really prepare you for what the rest of this game is going to be like. You've pretty much seen everything the game's going to throw at me, however, in terms of vehicles, scenarios like the jamming and the solo missions.
Looks like they're being transferred to a new position. Rebels are probably monitoring our comm and know you're en route. So you need to move it. We must have all. Repeat, we cannot accept any VIP losses. Is that understood, Scott?
Copy that, bud.
Yeah, I don't feel too bad about talking over him right now. You'll understand why in a minute. So as you can see, I'm using the UAV to kind of scope out my area here. And for some reason, it doesn't always pick up everybody. And this comes back to haunt me later on in a section I cut. As you can see, I'm still using single shot. I still prefer it a lot over the other modes of fire in this game. Let's heal up here.
Understood.
And here we go. This gets a little hairy, and this is kind of a preview of the next mission, which is a shanty town, and it's very close quarters the entire time. And this mission makes you paranoid enough for the next mission that you might survive it. You just really have to check every corner, and yeah, look at that shooting, and just hope for the best. Whoa, he's glitching out of there on the left. Alright, this is where I got stuck for a good 3 minutes when I was playing this originally, because I kept trying to do something I shouldn't have tried to do, and that is destroy this vehicle. I completely forgot how it actually works. Once you kill the guy,
All units, we have Captain.
anyways, once you kill the guy in there, you actually have nothing to worry about from that thing unless you do what I do or get in front of it right there. Or you could instruct your demolitions guy to blow it up, which he will do right in your face. And I had one time where it actually got through there and ran over one of my guys, and I was unable to revive him. Luckily, I died in the section right after that to a really cheap moment, and I'll explain that when I get to it. And I didn't have to worry about carrying on the majority of this mission with only 2 squad mates, which is a general relief. But yeah, that can be difficult if you don't know what you're supposed to do with it. What I'm doing here is sending my crew in, as per usual, to take the brunt of the damage and kind of distract. I use the UAV to similar ends in a couple situations where I will just let that thing go to the ground or get low enough to get shot at and let it take damage while I stay out of sight. You notice there I took a different path than usual than the last time, and I stayed the hell away from it. Yeah. So there's still a few more in here, as I can see. But I don't take anything for granted, considering that people will sometimes not show up on the UAV but actually be there. So I'm going to abuse this system, as I've said before. That guy's not quite in my range, but whatever. So here we go. Looks like Marcus is taking the initiative. There's 2 more guys in this area that are reachable. So I'm going to go do something stupid about it. First, I'm going to take out this guy, which is actually not stupid, but I did take damage because I didn't get to cover. The reason I didn't go to cover is because this guy can see me from the nearest available cover. I should have gone to cover to shoot him, but I exposed myself and almost paid for that one too. Now this is the section I was saying was a little cheap. And there's a couple of them in this level. But if you look in the tree to the right there, you might see some muzzle flash before I do. And there is a guy hidden behind that tree. If you drop the UAV on him like I have already, you won't see him. If you walk out here, you'll get shot by him. If you send your team in, however, you'll find out that he's actually there. Yeah. He got me the time the one guy on my squad perma-died, which I'd never seen before in this game, and I'm probably going to put together a quick video showing that. And this is actually about my 3rd time through this section, to be honest, because the next section's just as bad as this one was. There's a couple guys in windows, and because of the way the aiming system in this game works, if you get surprised by them, you're pretty much dead, because it's not super accurate unless you scope in. If you scope in, you leave yourself kind of exposed. So I'm going to circle around so I don't get stuck looking through those windows. And I'm going to drop this thing here. But we are extremely close to our first objective, which is rescuing the tank drivers. It's just a quick jog through another enemy hellhole, and we should be there. And there I go, taking more damage. So now I'm down to 1 more shot available to me. And I'm just going to have to play smart from here on out, which is really how you have to play this entire game. If you don't, you get killed pretty quickly. Oh. Yeah, get ready for people running in front of me in this level. Like, a lot.
Let's go. Moving.
And so once again, I don't trust anything, and I'm sending these guys in. Now, one thing you should notice about the UAV cipher there is that if you die, it gets full health again, even if it's been knocked out of the air. Alright, so I'm still being paranoid about this. I don't trust this situation at all. You're going to see another jump cut in a minute, but let's rescue these guys.
Intel has 3 operational tanks here. You need to move the crewmen to this position.
I hope you have a plan.
They got some VCRs in here. Alright, so here comes a really bad jump cut, and I apologize for it. These guys. I've directed my team over there so I don't get shot by them. I definitely turned the corner the first time through, and the UAV didn't pick up anybody, so I didn't know they were there. And I got completely swamped by them and died in less than a quarter of a second. Those trainers are pathed similar to the Mexican president in his levels, so they won't really get in the way too often, but they do have their dumber moments. I haven't had an issue with the trainers. They're only with you for a short section. Alright, so they actually come through you in this section, which is a little hairy, but it's not the worst in the level by far. As you can see, there's quite a few people here. So, you would think I could throw a grenade down there, but I really can't, because that barbed wire is basically a solid wall. I can't shoot through it or anything like that. So my plan is to send my team down there. Eventually. So I'm going to put them directly in harm's way because they can take the damage. I can't right now. I can't pop up out of cover here, so this is completely useless. And I can't throw a grenade from here. So why they needed the wire, I have no idea. Hup. I think this actually does some good damage here.
Soldier needs help.
Yeah, I'm not running out there. I'm not running into the line of fire with 1 shot left in me. That is not how I'm going to go out. Luckily, the trainers stick with you and not your team because they would be dead otherwise. As you can see, I can't shoot through that fence. You can see the laser pointer there. So, I'm kind of stuck. This is a bad situation. Most people come out on the top there and you can get a decent vantage point, but it's not the best. So, I like to come out this way and send my team out, and so they can get completely hammered by the enemy forces first.
Sir, let's
Alright.
go.
Let's keep doing it. This game is really going to be all about how you control your team from here on out. And if you don't do it well and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get completely fucked up. And that's really the message this game wants to convey to you with missions like this. It really relies a lot on directing your team correctly. And we'll explain that in a minute too. Of course, your team having really bad AI doesn't help anything. So this is the objective with the tank drivers. Get them in here, get them into the tanks. The second you get out, they'll actually roll out with them. They will never get in the tanks if you stay in here with them. I checked that out one of my times in this level. And you're going to get another jump cut because I died another 12 times in this next section. So I get out of there.
I'm here.
So over there's a little tunnel in the hospital and that red light on the left. Wait for it. Yeah, those guys are lemmings. They'll just follow me to the end of the earth. But there's a little red tunnel there, and your immediate instinct is going to be to go through that tunnel every single time you play this level. And that's not actually correct.
Great. You've secured 3 tanks. Foster will provide munitions and supplies. Foster, status.
We secured munitions and are now en route to the staging area.
Ghost Leader, you have tactical control. Get those tanks to the rendezvous point.
Alright, so we met our first of the Limbo characters. Foster is apparently in some sort of black hell, which is terrifying. So the little tunnel here, jeez, I stopped way before I could even see it. That tunnel there, I'm going to send my team in there when this eventually jump cuts, and I'm going to walk around it and follow the tanks that pop out of this bunker on the right. And you'll see why. If you come out here, your team's going to basically hog that wall and you won't be able to shoot anything. But they don't have the accuracy to hit everything you need them to. So if you follow these tanks, you can use them as convenient cover and get a direct shot on everyone without having to worry about your teammates getting in your way. And this means that while you're exposed for a couple seconds, you stay basically clear and free. Now you can't direct the tanks directly yet, which is a bit of a problem. But once you do, it's basically lights out for the enemy. So, once again, my guys are getting knocked down over here. And I'm able to pick these guys off from a safe enough distance. I should have been in cover there, but I wasn't. And I don't really have to worry about the things these guys are getting shot by. I can sit back and kind of snipe a bit. Which is the exact sort of situation you want to be in a game like this.
Move!
So with that done, I'm able to get up here. There's an ammo box right ahead of me. Fantastic. I get to go up a bar of health, which is good because I'm about to go into a section I really dislike, and I somehow got through in one try. So I'm kind of impressed by myself. The next section is a bit of a bear, and I'll explain why when we get to it. Heal ourselves up a bit. Great, fantastic. So, you can't control the tank, your cipher gets taken from you, and as you can see, it's back up to green.
Move!
Your team has really bad squad AI. This is all going to kind of form up into one big problem in a second. So look at this. The game that relies on cover gives you a section with no cover whatsoever, and you have to take out these guys before they can hit you on what might be 1 bar of health. That makes almost no sense, and I kind of fear for whoever came up with this idea. Alright, and then you get this thing up ahead of you. So obviously you're supposed to use the tank for cover here, and take out that thing. Now, that APC, I can't kill that. I don't have a grenade launcher. One of my guys has a grenade launcher. He's 10 miles back right now, though, as you can see in the top left there. Kill this guy while we wait for him. Okay, and then what does he do? He gets firmly into cover, while my rifleman fires on it with his gun, which does nothing. It's just Marcus Brown is the light machine gunner, and my grenadier is actually just in a corner, hanging out. Yep. This'll go well. This'll end. Those tanks are luckily invincible. So what you have to do is actually pop them completely out of cover so they'll fire on it. And once they get out of cover, they're good. But if they're in cover, like all your instincts will tell you to do, they will never kill that thing. Unless you don't get a glitched guy in the wall. we're close. As you can see, my last mission has trained me to look right at those guard towers every available time.
Hey, Mitchell, you got the players? My team is securing the party supplies. We're en route to the assembly area.
Move it, Captain!
It's okay, Foster, we're coming, buddy. We'll get you out of limbo. Alright. This is a quick section if people don't run in front of me. Your team's going to have a bit of a problem with not doing that from here on out, though. This game was definitely not made for tight corners, and it shows at some points. So once we get here, we can rearm these tanks.
Glad to see you made it, Captain. We're gonna hangar these tanks to refit and rearm. Scott, we've set up a rally point. Your new objective is to move to that position.
Move it!
Alright, so we've got to watch out for a few things in the coming section, but first we're going to get our cousin Bo back into the game. And everyone heals back up. Let's get him out of here because Richard Allen is afraid to use his grenade launcher and Bo is ready to use it, and we're going to come up to a type section here. So as you can see, I have a Zeus available to me, and I sometimes take it in this section. It just makes it very difficult because you definitely do have to shoot some people down.
Mitchell, you've got hostiles converging on your position. The tanks are not fully operational, so you'll need to provide your support crews with cover fire until they finish the job. Repeat, hold your position at all costs.
In position.
You guys know what's fun? Mounted machine gun sections in your cover-based shooters. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun when people don't show up for them. This takes a minute. Here we are. So I lose my ability to scope, so I can't tell exactly where these guys are, and it makes for trouble. This is a fairly boring section, and I don't know why they needed to pad out a level that's already fairly long, but they included it. So I've done this without touching the guns, and it's a bear because you can't hide on these sandbags. So your entire team's stuck behind a cover that's only big enough for 3 people. So somebody's going to be standing out in the open the entire time.
Soldier, point the small end of your weapon at those guys and squeeze. And stay down, for God's sake.
Oh, Foster, I hate you so much. I remember when we talked to General Ventriloquist after we rescued the Mexican president from the embassy. He listed 7 action zones that he needed people in, and one of them was Captain Foster here, and then there was the guy in the shanty town, which we're going to next. We're basically going to be doing like 8 people's jobs over the next couple days in this game. And the game runs for 3 days. We're on the beginning of day 2 right now. So we're technically about halfway in, I would say. And it's going to feel like a long time before this game ends. You do get a lot for your money in this game. The missions are long and there's a ton of them. So don't worry, there's plenty to watch. This is going to be one of the very few mounted machine gun requirement sections though, so that's good. And now we have a tank. Bit of a problem. We can't kill it with this gunner.
Situation critical here. Foster needs more time, Mitchell. So you and your men will hold your position. Those tanks must be ours. Am I clear?
Clear as crystal, General. Consider it done.
Captain Mitchell, we are operational. Repeat, we are armed and ready for bear.
Message to all tanks. This is General Martin. You are now attached to Captain Mitchell's command for the rest of the operation. Link up with Captain Mitchell soonest.
They found a background for Captain Foster there, everyone. So that's good, they got him out of the window.
Everyone, standing by, ready for orders. Captain, heavies 1 through 3 standing by. Orders?
Got him!
Now that we've got tanks online, these guys are in for a world of hurt.
Yes, let's go!
Oh yeah, that's what these babies are built for.
Captain, I need you to reach the entrance of the tank assembly area. Foster will provide overwatch.
So, a quick note about my family. We don't make the best decisions. I went from an engineering degree to a liberal arts degree because I just wanted to do that instead of engineering. My brother decided to be white trash, and Bo decided to fire a grenade launcher at somebody 2 feet away from him behind a waist-high box. As you can see, none of our decisions really work out great. So let's go heal him up and get to one of the cooler things we're going to get to use in this game, the tank. It's the M1A2 Abrams, which someone's going to correct me, but I don't think that actually exists at this point. And he is pretty cool now that he has shells. It makes short work of almost everything, and let's just stick him on some people, for example. Oh, jeez. So he's really great for the few vehicles we're going to get here. And I forget to move him up a little later on, and that comes back to haunt me. But you can definitely have him shoot stuff. He will rotate back to do it too. So let's watch. I don't know how I didn't die to that. But this is the kind of game that would make you die to that. So the tank, there it goes. That was pretty good. That works out for us. This guy got to... Oh, that was a weird moment.
Let's go.
So you have to remember to move the tank forward. And because he snipes this guy in a second, you'll see. He somehow hits this thing up here, and I believe he can actually hit the shot from wherever he is. So I leave him where he is for a while after he hits it.
Advance.
Let's go heal up Joe in a second. Get the cover side of things. I'm not going out there if I can help it.
Still, we're gonna be okay.
Now you can tell the Bradley to fire while he's in there. He will definitely do that. While you're doing something else, he'll do that. So let's clear out these guys and eventually learn how to control the tank. As you can see, he's still shooting into there. So I think he's got a shot of some nature. I don't realize it's dumb AI.
Take the shot.
So as you can see, he's kind of stuck back there. He can't go anywhere because I keep telling him to shoot. And he keeps firing, which is nice, but he can't hit that thing. So here I am trying to kill the gunner so I can move forward a bit. I could also have Bo do this, but I realize what I'm doing. And let's pop this guy. There. So now that thing's only got a grenade launcher on it, which I still concern myself with, but not as much. Because that tank's slow, this is going to be a little while. I promise you, because most of the vehicles are much faster than the tanks, these sections will go much quicker. But for now, this is what we've got. And we're actually near the end of this video. It came much faster than I thought. Let's move up the Ghost Squad. There's our tank.
Take the shot.
Yeah. I don't know why I switched to grenades there. I think I'm hitting buttons based on other games at this point. You can see my team's not been doing the best. And the tank's going to soon refuse to move forward. So we're going to be on our own for this last section, which can be a bitch if you're stupid about it, but if you know what you're doing and know what to expect, you're kind of be okay.
Incoming! 2 rebel helo tank killers inbound on your position, Mitchell. Suggest you proceed alone on foot. Helos closing low and fast on your 20. Essential that tanks make it through. Repeat, protect those tanks, Scott. We can't afford any losses. Objective, destroy the 2 helos.
In position.
This is our stop, Captain. Holding at this position. Orders. Incoming! 2 rebel helo tank killers.
That's the same guy. So, yeah, I did a bad jump cut there, but that's the... I don't know what to show you there. If you take him to the left there, there's a sniper nest, this gunner nest here on the left as well. But if you go to the one on the right, it's a much faster walk, and it's a lot easier to hit the helicopter from it. Or the helicopters. My problem the first time through was that I couldn't see the other 4 people up there at all. So I had to basically run at them and find out the hard way that there were more people up there. You'll see this time I don't take chances the second time around. Eat shit. And or die. So this section is fairly easy. If you know to expect those guys, you can get through that pretty quick. These helicopters are really nothing. They won't really hit you at all. Of course, here I drop my gun for no good reason. I'm trying to pick up this gun. So here we go. I like the little effect on the blades that this has. Look at the red outline. So as you can see, there's the other facility or the other area. And so I'm going to try to take those guys out while I'm up here. But then I realized the helicopters, there's two of them. Not the one I thought there was. So, let's gun them out. There is no occasional damage on this thing, so you can shoot them wherever you really want to. Except for the rotor, of course. And with that, we're out of the level.
Scott, we are setting up your extraction. Stand by.
General Martin, things are going to hell in a handbasket. We have now lost contact with the quarterback. Repeat, VIP-1 is off the grid. Do you copy? Roger that. Stand by. Captain Burke, I need a sitrep now! Burke! Burke, do you copy?
General Martin, we've got a tracer on the quarterback. Your men on the ground should be getting HUD feeds as we speak.
Affirmative on that feed. That would be Captain Salvatore's sector. He's knee-deep in hostile activity. Salvatore, I need a sitrep!
I'm pretty much pinned down, General. I've lost Bennett, Sweeney, and Baxter. We have no room to move and negative confirmation on the quarterback passing through our position. These rebels must be on our line, General. It's the only way to explain how we're continually outflanked.
Just hang on, son. We have men en route.
Alright everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time when we take it to the streets of Mexico and kind of destroy some shanty towns.
Forming on you.
General Martin, we've run a few scenarios up here, and we now believe that Carlos Ontiveros and his Mexican paramilitary group called Aguila 7 are using our stolen Guardrail 9 to disrupt our communications on the ground long enough to buy time and sympathy from the international community. Perhaps in an attempt to sabotage NADSA. In short, we do not believe that Ontiveros wants the president dead any more than we do. Roger that, but I won't believe it until we got VIP-1 standing on the west lawn. Captain Salvatore, I need a sitrep.
We've still got numerical superiority, but I don't know how long that'll last, sir.
APC, give Salvatore your ETA.
Captain Salvatore, I'm en route with Captain Mitchell to your position. Can you guide me in?
You gotta drop off outside the area. Alleys are too tight and too hot. We got intense activity in this zone.